All right. Hey, ladies.
Hey,
Hey,
How y'all doing?
we all
I'm
right? I'm all right.
Did you guys do anything exciting over the weekend?
For me, no.
yeah, no, I just kind of hung around, played with my dog, like nothing, nothing crazy.
I'm so I hate the cold. I'm really like a fake Jamaican African island girl, and it's cold. It's really cold. But yeah, I had a nice little drive. I just drove to like Delaware and Philly.
Wow.
It's cold down there.
It's been raining here,
Oh,
and to make matters worse, Nigeria is experiencing a little bit of how do I put it, power outage and stuff because there's been a recent development of flood in some areas, so it's affected some electrical grids and all that. So sometimes you think you have power, and the next thing you're trying to work, and then power goes off. So we've been dealing with that back and forth, back and forth. I mean, today has been relatively okay, but during the week, it's been a lot of complaints from everybody. So perhaps when we're recording and they decide to do their thing, because yo, this country, we're good. Let me not say another thing. We're good. But
oh,
it's crazy. I'm not going to lie to you. It's actually very crazy.
All right. Well, we're gonna hope it's strong internet. This whole discussion.
No, the internet is fine. It's just
Okay.
it's the power that's the issue. Because I've had
Uh,
the experience like yesterday. It's been back and forth. 1 minute you're trying to work and have a meeting, and then the next minute. So
okay.
well, we're not gonna have those issues right now.
Right.
what do you say?
I said, knock on wood, we're not gonna have those issues right now. So hopefully,
Amen.
yeah.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Yes, please this one day. Yes, amen to that.
All right, so we're going to dive into our topic because we are all black women.
Okay.
Okay.
In this topic, I specifically wanted black women, not to leave out mixed women, but black women, it just hits differently with
Mm-hmm.
black. So
Yep.
the topic is, does your hair define you as a black woman? And this came about when I was having a discussion with one of my team members, and they were asking, why is this video your number one most viewed video? And it's 9 products I use on my bald head. And black women, when we cut our hair off, a lot of us are emotionally attached to it, or we have a health problem. Those are the most of the comments that I can comb through my videos and you'll see. They're predominantly black. I have a couple of white people, but I want to talk about black because I am a black woman and identify with the black problems and struggles and stuff like that. So we were having a discussion about that, and I said, you know what? Let me bring this to a panel because I haven't had hair in over a decade. So I am detached from hair. And then also, I'm going to give you guys an exclusive. So I
Oh.
have my book, and I'm gonna read the little inserts of me defining my hair because that is a part of my personal style. Because I use myself as my own client in the first chapter. So
Okay.
here is the part where I talk about a little bit of part of where I talk about my hair. Before cutting my hair short, I had tried different hairstyles such as braids, twists, perms, extension colors, and I was never happy with myself, especially with these hairstyles being the norm in the black community. But once I got a buzz cut, I felt much better. I can confidently say that it was one of the best decisions in my life, and I don't regret it in that least. When my friends asked me if I had any fears going bald, I told them no. And the truth is, I actually never thought about anything. Not the shape of my head, whether it would suit my face, or the scar I bore because a badly placed bobby pin. I couldn't complain about it when I was young because the tighter the braid or the curl, the more beautiful and perfect it looked. After Mike the barber finished giving me a haircut, it felt incredible. It felt liberating. It felt as if an unknown weight had been lifted off my shoulders. but I felt the impact on my decision when I stepped out and people saw me. It felt like they were noticing me for the first time and they had their attention fixed on me. Not only not how tidy my hair looked, not the color of my hair, not the style of my hair, but rather my face, me. So, I wanted to raise the question, and you guys can depict what my insert of my book. Let's get into this discussion.
Whew. This is hard because I also had a little bit of that growing up. I cut my hair. I had natural. I had perm. I even had a mohawk at the time. So it was, for me, I think it was some sort. See what I was saying?
It's okay. We can still hear you though.
Okay, so for me, I think it was some sort of identity crisis, I would say.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out who I was. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know how people were going to, what do you call it? How people were going to accept me for me. It was hard because I saw my mates doing braids. Maybe someone who had like really long and beautiful hair, she would twist it. She didn't have to use like, extensions and all that kind of stuff. So, and then to make matters worse, my edges were the worst parts of my hair. It was like my hairline was receding. So my mom used to make fun of me. To her, it was a joke, but it kind of affected me because I couldn't get my hair done like this before. Like me doing braids and yanking it to the back or anything, it was very embarrassing. I felt like, somebody actually looked at me one day and said, "Why does your front hair look like it has been eaten by rats?" I almost cried. Yeah, exactly. So you can imagine going through all that, being in an African country, and then you're also trying to find yourself where you're in a place where you're in a box, literally. So yes, and then there's this thing in Africa, especially in this part of the world. I don't know if people still believe it, but then if you were a young woman and you were married and you suddenly cut your hair like the way you have your hair now, it's nice, it's looking good. But here they'll tell you, do you want to kill your husband? The way you cut your hair, it means you're wishing your husband dead or you're a widow. But they didn't understand that it's fashion. Like you rightly said, some people cut their hair as a fresh start from maybe a bad relationship, or maybe they had emotional trauma or some psychological thing going on. So for some people, it is a new beginning. That's how I see it.
Ooh. For me, I didn't have like as traumatizing experiences, I would say, at least not verbalized directly to me. I think for me, I struggled more like mentally. I just thought people felt this way because, in this country, and I'm sure in Nigeria too, there is a certain standard of beauty. It's largely Eurocentric, which is the hair that I'm wearing right now, ironically, and straight, long. So I always kind of gravitated towards that. My mom never pushed me one way or another. But when I did cut my hair back in 2019, I went completely bald. And it wasn't because of some awakening or revelation. It was because I was having scalp issues. And I'm like, if I want my hair to be healthy, my scalp has to be healthy. So cut my hair. And in that moment, leading up to it for years, I had been thinking about doing it and I was too scared to do it for whatever reason. At that time, I'm like, all right, we're just gonna do it. I sat on the toilet, handed my mom some scissors, and she got to cutting, and we got rid of it all, like completely bald. And right now, I actually have a buzz cut underneath my wig. So it's like I keep going back to it. I grew my hair out. I had this big fro, and I'm like, I feel like I'm beautiful, but I came back to losing my hair, to cutting my hair. I feel like when I cut my hair, that's when I'm most myself because I can't hide behind my hair. So for me, my favorite styles, if I were to be honest, has always been bigger hair. Like the bigger the hair, the more attention I feel like I command, like the prettier I look, you know what I mean? So For me, when
Yeah.
I cut my hair, I realized I'm like, you're beautiful. Like logically, I know I'm beautiful, but you know, sometimes as women, and I don't know for all women, I'm just gonna speak for myself, I guess. As a woman, sometimes I get really insecure, so I don't necessarily see my beauty every day. Whereas like somebody else may look at me and notice it, and I'm like, thank you. It doesn't feel that way. So I think cutting my hair really showed to me like you're okay, like you are beautiful with or without it, you're
Mhm.
beautiful no matter what you do. And then I realized I got so much more attention when my hair was cut. Like my dad, so it's funny when you were mentioning that when you cut your hair, it's like you're trying to kill your husband or like, are you a widow? Because my dad, straight from Haiti, very much so that mentality. He was like, why would you do that? You could have found a way to take care of it. And I'm like, it's just hair. If I want it back, it'll grow back. If it doesn't, I'll throw on a wig. Like it's fine. So for me, I don't know if my hair defines me, but I definitely think it's a part that defines me. Like there's a lot of things that goes into it. Um,
Hmm.
Hair will always be a big conversation for Black women because we're so policed by it. Whether it's in the workplace, whether it's on the street, walking, minding our business, whether it's in the house, like just being there. So because we're so policed by it, I think we feel like we're defined by it, but I don't feel defined by my hair. There's so many other things that define me. It's just one aspect of it.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
I like both of your answers. So wait, Eve, does hair define you? Did you say?
No, actually, it doesn't.
Okay.
Because the reason why I said that, because she mentioned something, and sadly, as much as we hate to admit it, even amongst us adults and even little girls now, it's
Mhm.
beginning to happen. Because if you actually, like, take, for example, if I take off these extensions and I'm carrying my natural hair, the
Right.
only reason why I will get some sort of attention is because my hair is long enough and my hair is relaxed, it's permed. Now, natural hair, I just like the fact that a lot of women are now beginning to accept that natural hair is a thing.
Mhm.
Because I remember growing up, you had natural hair, they made you look as if you were raggedy. It was as if you were poor, or your parents could afford to take care of you and everything. But natural hair has always been beautiful, and because these days, and it's sad that if you men will tell you, oh, you look nice with your natural hair, but they'll not say, maybe when you've been carrying your hair for too long, they'll be like, ah, babe, don't you think you should do something about this? And there are some women who don't even like attaching anything to their hair at all, but they find a very nice way to make it look good. So it's a thing, because if you keep listening to, wigs don't fit you, oh, braids don't fit you, your natural hair, what do you want to do? What would you, as an individual, say to yourself? What are you going to say, okay, oh, I did my hair with my natural hair, but damn, I look good, because if you can tell yourself that, I feel like every other person's opinion is just that, theirs. It is how you feel as a person.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely don't feel like hair defines me. I was
At all.
so quick to cut it off. I cut my hair off when I was 18. I had like a
Wow.
pixie haircut, and I got tired of going to the hair salon, just sitting there for hours. That is a talk in itself, just sitting in the beauty salon, and I could have been working a shift because yeah, your braids can take like up to 8 hours depending on what type of braids, and that was like tedious. I used to do that all the time because I ran track
You
and my
don't want to know
mom
how
needs
long
to
this one
maintain it.
took.
Huh?
This took about 12 hours to get done.
Yeah, like that is torture. I did that all of my childhood because I ran track. So in order for my mom to maintain my hair, because I always was practicing, I'm always sweating my hair. So getting a perm was pointless and braids was the solution. So like those 12 hours, those appointments, like I would dread those. And when I got to the age of 18, I just was like, yeah, no, I'm cutting this off. And then sit in the salon and I still have short hair. I work out so my hair would still sweat. So I was just like, I'm cutting it all off. I don't
Yeah.
know what this idea is that they all painted for us, that my hair defines me as a woman. I must have hair to maintain a woman, but when I have like all the functionalities as a woman, I'm just like, no, I'm cutting it off. I don't care if people don't like it or not, which a couple of my family members didn't. But I mean, whatever. You didn't have to see me anymore because I didn't live in the state of New Jersey. So whatever.
They'll be fine.
They were fine.
They'll be fine. I mean,
Yes.
I remember when I actually cut my hair, and this was the year when I actually had a mohawk at the time.
Hmm.
There was nothing I didn't hear. Oh, especially here in Nigeria, my God, when you try to do something off, something out of the norm, something that nobody's expecting, next thing you start hearing is, you're a child of God. You are this. A child of God is not supposed to do this. A child of God is not supposed to do that. What's responsible girl? Blah, 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 yada, yada. I'm like, yo, it's just hair. It is a style. Well, you have to look the way you want. You know how African mothers are, you have to look the way you want them to address you. Yeah, da, da, da. I was like, yeah, come on, guys. It's just hair. And then it was now, like, when I took my hair to church, and people were looking at me like, it's like it was nice, but you know, this look of, I'm not terrified, no, but I can't do it. You know, and then some people cannot come up to you and tell you that, yo, this your hair is costing. I mean, I remember when I had it and I took a trip,
Hmm.
like I felt like a star because first of all, that was my first time visiting that country. I can't remember where. I think it was, yeah, it was Dubai or something. Yeah. And everyone was like, "Oh my God, your hair!" My mom kept looking, and I'm like, "Yeah, you see, I told you it was nice." But you know, because of the setting that we're in, like as a Nigerian, as an African, like especially, there's this thing about your hair, and they'll be like, okay, I don't know how to say it in Yoruba, but in my part, from my culture, they tell you your hair is your crown. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it's yeah, I think it's iru ni adeori. So it's like that's the hair, that's your crown. Your hair is your crown. So
Right.
cutting your hair in Nigeria, especially in Africa, is like you're doing the worst thing ever. But I think it's just now that people are beginning to accept that okay, women can actually have like fabulous haircuts and still look amazing without being judged. It's just now, I think it's even recently, a lot of people started even going wild with colors. Like you see a lady with blonde, you see another girl like a very nice shade of blue or maybe a teal.
Hmm.
But before, if you do it, the first, that girl is not responsible. She cut her, she even colored it again. Please don't go near her. Guys, come on, it's just hair. But people have also let that define them, sadly. As much as we don't want to admit it, there are very few brave people like us that will say, you know what, it's my hair. Anything you want to say, that's your problem. As long as I look good, everybody else will be all right. But there are some people that know that deep down inside they look amazing. But because of one auntie has said, one uncle has said, one person has said, the next thing you now see people trying to have, I think some people had identity crisis trying to find out what kind of hair to keep.
I find it interesting that you said that if you guys go bald in Africa, in Nigeria,
Yeah.
it's the same response as if, if when I cut my hair. But, some of the Americans, when they approached me, they thought I was African because that's what we view. That's what,
So true.
yeah. So that's why when our discussion, Eve, like it's interesting that you're speaking on, I'm not gonna say all Africans, but Nigerians, but some of the narratives that are painted over here in America, like they think I'm African, like full blown African,
Wow.
because this is how some of the media has portrayed you guys. You're bald and X, Y, and Z.
I'm not even going to lie. I think the media has a lot of correcting and how let me put it, learning to change people's perception. when it comes to Africa in general, because they still make us feel like we're backward. They make us feel like, no, if you come to Nigeria, by the time you're going back with plenty mosquito bites or something. But it is not it, you know. There are a lot of things that I feel like a new wave of research needs to be done when it comes to Nigerians and Africans in general. There are some things that, like you said, when you hear some things about Nigerians, you just be like, so you guys are like this, but this is not what, you know, they made us see. This is how they made us see you guys. They made us feel like, oh, you guys live on trees, or you guys don't dress well, or you guys don't have, you know, any sense of fashion. Like currently, there's a fashion week going on, and I'm amazed to see the styles that people pull through. Like, there's so much creativity going on right now. And the amazing part is it's not even just the clothes. The hair is amazing. And I'm even talking, and this is not even about the women, to even the guys. And now it looks like even the guys are even pulling it off more than the babes. So it's crazy, because now imagine, now in this day and age, you have African men, Nigerian men keeping their hair. And I'm not talking dreads. I'm talking guys are going to salons to get their hair groomed, get their hair woven, cornrows and everything. And you're looking at them like, this is not the same Nigeria that, you know, if a guy plays his hair, they'll tell you, oh, that guy cannot work in a corporate office. That guy cannot get married. He belongs to the streets. He's not responsible. But the narrative is changing. That's why I said a whole new wave of research needs to be done for Nigeria, especially because there are some narratives that need to be cancelled a whole lot.
I think
I was so excited when I found out that one of the panelists are going to be directly from Nigeria, because my research actually is in beauty politics. And specifically, I look at how Black women, but dark-skinned Black women, are portrayed in the media. And for the sake of my research here in the US, because it has to be, you know, constricted. But I came across an article that said in Nigeria, there was a ban on white or non-Nigerian models being in advertisements. And I thought that was groundbreaking. So can you tell me if that's true or not? Because I've seen it a number of times, but I haven't gotten, like, I would say, hard evidence, like concrete evidence about that.
So when you say concrete, are you saying that about like Africans getting, like Nigerians getting involved in commercials?
Yeah. So what the article said was that the country has decided that it's no longer allowing white or non-Nigerian. So if you're not a native to Nigeria,
actually that's true, because I'm actually in the media. I work on radio. So yes, it is true. So for every voice you hear for commercials now, they are not going to be non-Nigerians anymore. It's just Nigerians or nothing. And it's actually good because regardless, you still have people who speak well and don't have the Nigerian accent when they're doing like voiceovers. Like I do voiceovers, I do commercials. So there's this thing, like people feel like, oh, if it's a Nigerian that says it will not sound well. That is not true. That is actually not true. And it's also good because it's going to create a lot of jobs for people here. So yes, when it comes to the voicing and commercials, if it's not Nigerian, that is, but I don't know if they've started implementing yet, but I know that lately I've not heard any commercial that has to do with somebody who's outside Nigeria, any whatever, whether it's an event, whether it's a product, a brand, or whatever, every voicing that I've heard so far is what you call it, is Nigerian. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
And to me, that's so groundbreaking. And I'm like, why is this not more widespread? Like, I'm on my Facebook, I'm on my Instagram, I'm sharing it over and over and over again. Every time I see it, it's because I shared it, but I'll still share it again because I'm like, this is huge. This is like, when you talk about framing the narrative or doing the research to see what is actually going on versus the stereotypes that are being put out there, this is a huge step in doing that. And I also feel like, though, not for nothing, we as people, like, we're not in stone ages anymore. We have the
At
internet.
all.
We have conversations with people, whether it's something like this or whether we just by chance meet somebody, and we can educate ourselves. I think a lot of us rely too much on the lies and the stereotyping that comes out in the media, because what we have to understand, what we see in movies is not necessarily true. Like most of
Girl,
the
no.
time, 90%, exactly, 90%
Picture.
are for entertainment. Even if it's
Yeah.
like, oh, this is a true crime, it's still for entertainment purposes.
Mm.
They still exaggerate like a scene. They exaggerate to make the person more intrigued by it.
Right, because
Yeah.
it's too entertaining. So I think at the same time where you're like, we need more research, I agree 100%. As a researcher, 100% I agree. But the other side of me is like, when are we going to take personal responsibility? We, me and MiKARA, we were talking about, flying and going different places. And we had talked about, we had both like wanted to go to Jamaica and stuff like that. So it's like, when we go to those places, what are we doing? She asked me if I actually left the resort. And I was like, well, to go on excursions, and then
Girl, no, not me. I'm like, where the driver at?
you
Where
see
my
what I'm saying?
driver? Okay, 119.
And
That's an emergency.
we should know. We should be able to go and do things and explore and learn about each other, because at the end of the day, if you don't know your roots, like, it's very sad, but a lot of us don't know our roots because we were stolen from our home place, right? But if you do know your roots, you should still want to go out and learn, whether you do or don't. I think that's a huge part of what you're saying as well. Like, not only research from the marketers and the media producers, but on us as individuals who are just in the world and participating.
There are some people who just don't want to know. They just want to be ignorant to whatever happened before us.
And
I think it's just it's just like BB said, it's about changing the narrative, because we're so used to having we're so used to hearing and having non-Nigerians or non-Africans in most of our commercials, and it's about time we stop, because whether we like it or not, there's so many talents that are yet to be discovered. There are so many talents. There's so many creative, very intelligent people. I mean, if we were not as good as people make us look, why are people going outside our, just how we're being portrayed and how we're being seen, and that needs to be corrected. That needs to be, because the way Nigeria especially is being seen is like we're the worst of the worst, but that is not true.
Mm-hmm.
That is not true at all. You come here, you experience different forms of culture from different languages,
tribalism,
meet different individuals.
Y'all got tribalism.
Oh
we
my
don't
God,
have that at all.
Come on, MiKARA.
We don't have it, right, baby?
Like,
we don't have it. We had like a full
there, but then again, we try to find our way around it, because the truth is, I think a lot of people are people are beginning to accept that, certain things are, are changing. Now, like, take for example this hair issue. One of the beautiful things about Nigeria, especially when it comes to hair, there's certain hairstyles that you see on different women in Nigeria that will tell you where they're from.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you go to like my tribe, Yoruba, if you go to like the native side of my tribe, like places where culture and customs are still being regarded, when you see certain hairstyles, you know that, oh, this person is Yoruba. But you probably go to that's for the western side. You go to the eastern side, you see another. And funny thing is, we all admire each other's hairstyles.
Mm-hmm.
We all do. Like, this is so nice. The only thing is, sometimes we can't do it because we're not the same tribe, or we just feel like, oh, it's not going to fit. Or unless maybe you get someone who can actually pull it off for you. Right. So it is a lot, because like we have over how many tribes, we speak so many languages. So you can imagine the customs and traditions and the kind of hairstyles. Like in my culture, my tribe, the hairstyle that the queen of a particular land will carry, no other maiden or no other lady in the land is allowed to do it. There's certain traditional hairstyles that cannot be done by any other woman who is not the queen of the land. So unless you're from the royal palace or something, then you're allowed to, but if not, so that's why I said that here, especially in Africa, Nigeria especially, for example, where you have different people, different backgrounds, different languages, different tribes, different traditions and customs. When it comes to hair, you haven't seen anything. Believe you me. Even we that were here, I can bet that there are some hairstyles I've never seen in my life. There are some, acceptance. Like some cultures would say, okay, if a man dies and the wife is still alive, one of the traditions is they have to scrape the woman's hair with a blade, not a clipper. So you see, when it comes to hairstyles and stuff, there's a lot of things attached to hair with rules, with tradition, with, oh, you're a woman, you're not supposed to cut your hair. If you're going to do your hair like this, look, oh, shit. Anyway, look responsible and all that kind of stuff. So if you now say, oh, as a woman, I want to have a mohawk or I want to go bald, believe you me, if your mother does not say anything, your mother's friends will say something, somebody will question you. To be honest, somebody is going to say something like, oh, as you have cut your hair now, do you think you look good? Or this hair that you did, do you think it fits you? So it's a whole lot. It's a lot, to be honest.
But that's to your point, because when you said we don't have like tribes and stuff out here, I feel like our tribes are
we don't have tribe. This is a capitalistic country. So how we section off is the social status, the economy, because I could be middle class, you could be middle class, but how I wear my hair in Jersey is totally different from you and versus somebody different in Detroit and then someone on the West Coast. Like we don't have a tribe and then that tribe has that hierarchy of, this is the standard. Now you follow suit. We just are kind of just like, we don't have like a top tier standard.
Because we've been separated by races, like that's been the hierarchy. That's been the ladder. That's
right.
So it's racial and it's economical. Like, and then a part of that also is there's no respect. Whereas he was just saying, well, she's Europe, but if she goes somewhere else, she can determine somebody else's tribe just by looking at them because of how their hair is done. But you know enough not to do that because that's not for you. You can't do that.
Yeah.
White women who will try to put box braids on right now.
Or dreads.
Or lock their hair just for the sake of being able to say that they'll do it.
Because it's a trend.
Exactly. And it's not.
I was gonna ask you guys how you guys cope with that because I know I have been seeing that a lot in the news lately. You see some women having, like white women mostly, having locks, having cornrows, box braids, and you're like, even some haircuts that that is only Black people that can pull this off, and then you're like, what are you doing?
Well, dreads, number one, I feel dreads on white people, I feel like they should call it something else because they can't lock their hair. Their hair will never lock. So they need to call it something else. That is my thought. You can never
What
lock
if they use like all those crochet locks? Because some of them just
But they can't because their hair is so fine and straight and our hair is coarse. Like it will never, that's why I said it will never lock and they need to call it something else.
Like a person who has locks, like a Black person who has locks, get their hair done every 3-4 weeks or whatever the time period is, right? Like a white person's probably gonna have to go every 3-4 days. Like versus a Black person.
Oh, wow.
Because our hair texture is made for this, whereas like their hair texture is this. You cannot lock this.
The hair grows down and ours grow upwards.
And exactly. And their argument is, well, you have Black women, which i.e. right now, me, who wear wigs to look like white women, but it's not in the sense to look like white women. We have been plagued by a Eurocentric standard of beauty.
Code switching.
Exactly. So if we are told you're more beautiful with straight long hair than you are with your natural curly coils, then I'm going to go make sure that this is done. If they just passed a law, what was it, like last year or 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
For in the workplace, like you can't turn away somebody because their hair is locked or because they have braids.
The ethnic hair, yeah.
Right. So, and you mean to tell me it's the same thing as you just deciding to appropriate what I can do with my hair? No. So how do we cope with it? How I cope with it is I roll my eyes every single time and I just wait for their hair to fall out, because that will what happens. I've actually turned down a job because a brand wanted to have predominantly all white models and they wanted to do like cornrows, and I'm like, I'm not being a part of this. You're not throwing my name in it. Good for you. Because it's a lot of
that is the wrong move.
Yeah, what? I'm not being a token black girl for this, the creative director. Like, no. So yeah, I've turned down jobs. No, man. It's the trend. I don't do fashion because of trends. Like, I'm not being a part of this.
Good.
But I think another thing that some Black women, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think another thing some Black women need to understand and observe is it is also not every hairstyle that fits you, whether it is in trend or not. There are some women who curls don't fit at all. There are some women that when they have their hair, down to the back, all back cornrows, they look amazing. It brings out their face. I think another thing that kills us, if we want to tell ourselves the truth as Black women, is take, for example, the hair BB has on. Maybe when I take this out, I have to go and look for something that looks like that or looks close to it just because I saw it on her and it looks nice. And I just assume that I would look good in it. I think that's another thing that kills us as Black women, because we just see, oh, my friend has it. Okay, so me too, I can wear it. If it fits her, it fit me. But that's not true. It's just, and another thing that people don't understand is I've seen a lot of women with different colors of weaves, wigs, and everything. And then you ask yourself, when this person was choosing this color, did the person consider their skin type or skin color when they took this? Like, someone like me, I feel like red hair is too much for me, so I can't do it. I'd rather go for maybe an ombre or a black or brownish, Like, it's just like when I see people who are like me or a little bit darker than I am, and they're going for like outright blonde. I'm like, why?
I don't agree.
You don't?
What do you say?
No.
You don't?
No,
Why?
I was so scared to dye my hair blonde when I first cut my hair, and then like it started to grow back. So I'm like, oh, I'm about to finesse, right? I'm about to be real cute. So I was so scared to bleach my hair and go blonde. But I've seen some dark-skinned Black women with.
No, when I'm even saying the kind of blonde is like,
like your undertone.
You saw Game of Thrones, right? Like the Daenerys Targaryen that kind of white hair.
Yeah, okay, so some dark skinned people have like blue undertones versus me, I have like red. So that platinum blonde would not look good on me, girl. But someone who is dark with like blue undertones, it will look good. So maybe do you understand what undertones are?
I think I don't like 100% of an understanding. I actually was just having this conversation like last week when I was at the makeup store with my mom trying to find her a foundation. But so I don't have like a 100% clear understanding on undertones, but I feel like I don't know. I haven't seen a dark-skinned Black woman yet with like white hair or like really, really like platinum blonde hair. And, she could be like, I don't like to use that term, but she could have like, the blue undertone that you're talking about, or she could be like your complexion of dark skin. And I haven't seen it where I think it looks bad. I think we have to determine, or we have to deconstruct for ourselves what bad and what good technically is. You see what I'm saying? Because technically,
Yeah.
do we think it looks bad? And are we saying, and instead of saying bad, do we really mean ghetto? And are we not saying ghetto because we know that that's, that's like imperialistic to say? You know what I mean? Like, I think we have to also, we kind of have to check ourselves in those moments, because when we go back earlier to what we were saying, like, we should be able to do whatever we want. If I wanted to cut my hair, I should cut my hair, da da da. Then why can't somebody just color their hair if they want to color their hair? Like, maybe to us, we don't think it's the most flattering, but for them, they feel beautiful. So they should be allowed to do that. Like, as long as it's not looking, I guess, clownery. But then again, that depicts, like, what do we see as clownery? What do we determine as bad or as unflattering? I don't know.
I work with women and men. I understand what you're saying. You can do whatever you want, but a lot of times they'll look nice, or if the people around them are gassing them up and they're gassing themselves up, and then they'll look back at themselves 2 years later like, why did I wear this? I look 5 years older than what I am now because that was the wrong coloring, or they just went to someone, or they did it themselves. I just have a different angle because I work with people and they just go back and look and they kind of regret because that was the trend, or, oh, I just picked this up because such and such. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it, but it's just taking consideration of your skin color and what's appropriate, what's flattering for you. Like she said earlier, like the curls may be a little bit too big or too tight. It's just, you can wear blonde, but just know what shade is appropriate for you. Like, every woman can wear red, but you just have to pick the shade. Maybe that came out wrong out of Eve, but yeah, just finding the appropriate shade.
Okay. That's why I said correct me if I'm wrong. So thanks for the correction.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the shade, possibly. But yeah, no, people can do whatever they want to do. Girl.
But I mean, it's just, I think a lot of ladies, even now, as much as people don't want to admit it, I think people should stop letting their hair define them.
Mm-hmm.
They need to stop it, because some people are suffering from so much low self-esteem, or they're still trying to find themselves, because with the way the internet is, everybody feels like their life has to go this way. Snap. Yeah, and it's not like that, because we still, whether I want to admit it or not, there are going to always be late bloomers. There are people who start doing things that people have done like way, and they'll be like, oh, done, dusted, been there, done that. And some people will just be experiencing it. So when it comes to hair, and I'm saying this for women all over the world, I think we just need to find our ground and find what makes us comfortable, because there's nothing as good as being comfortable in your own skin. You look in the mirror, you're like, okay, my hair's nice, my hair's great, I look good, there's nothing nobody wants to tell me. Once you can put yourself to that, I don't feel like anybody else's opinion would have any effect on you. That's just how I see it.
And you made a really good point about the internet, because the internet, in my mind, is such a gift and a curse. Like,
yes.
The gift because it spreads so much knowledge. We can have connections like this. Like, the three of us may have never met if it wasn't for the internet, right? But at the same time, like, I know personally, I have been really brought down by the internet. There are times where I'm like, okay, you just need to sign out of Instagram and just be out for like a couple days, recenter yourself, because it almost makes you feel like your life is moving too slow, or you're not looking good enough or keeping up enough with,
you're not achieving anything well. Yes. Yeah.
That's
I mean, you're lucky, because my job, I wish I could run away from it. If I had my way, I would not even have a phone, because of my job, I have to keep up with current events, things that are happening, from news to politics to fashion, lifestyle, entertainment, even people's lives that have nothing to do with me. But when I say people's lives, like, okay, this person is dropping a new movie, this person is dropping a new song, a TV show is coming out. But the sad part is, while you're even doing all this research and, trying to find things you're going to use for your program, then you're having to come across news of somebody you spoke to died 2 days ago, this person, disaster here, this one here, people are suffering. Then you now want to come and tell me that my hair does not, like, bro, who has energy for that? the hair is, if the hair is okay, fine. The hair is not, don't stress me because with everything that is going on, anybody who is still bothered about, oh, you want to look good, but don't make somebody's statement make you feel like you're the worst person or you look homeless or you're some nappy boy or nappy babe. Nappy is cool. Dreads are cool. Low cuts are cool. Braids are nice. Just do you. Find what works for you and, enjoy it. Like you rightly said, MiKARA, I will say this for a fact. You're not missing anything. Trust me. You see all this, oh, what next am I going to do to my hair? Okay, like now, once this braids come off, I have to even think of when I'm going to go back to wendy. So believe me when I tell you that you actually look nice. Or it's like me waking up tomorrow and say, okay, you know what? Because I saw the low cuts of MiKARA, she looks very nice, she looks amazing. So when I take off my braids, I'm going to chop my hair off. And when I'm done, I'm like, who sent me a message? But just because I saw it on you and I feel like, oh, MiKARA looks nice. So that means if she can pull it off, I can. But I've forgotten that the frame of my face,
the shape of your head.
She's definitely right. Like, I don't think I've had any styles where I felt like, oh, this was a miss afterwards. I'm like, oh, if I saw something that I thought looked good and I put it on, to me, at least, I didn't think it was a miss. If you ask my mom, who's like the most bluntly honest person in my life for me, she'll be like, you could have did without that one or those. But and for the most part, like I mean on that note, I guess I do agree. You do have to just kind of, but I also think a lot of it's experimental. You got to see what you do and you don't like.
Yeah, definitely trial and error. But sometimes some people are not fitting for the straight out the box color. Maybe you have to go to the color expert. I don't even know what they're called because that's how long I've been out in the salon. But they customize like the blonde because there's like over 1,000 blondes.
Yeah. Well, I will say that I did have an experience, wanted to dye my hair red, got a box dyed, was not feeling it at all. Didn't come out how I wanted it to at all.
Yeah, because your hair, I don't even remember the terminology, but yeah, the way your hair lifts, man, it's been so long since I have hair. Yes.
My hair wasn't lifted to the correct level for it. So
okay, I remember.
Yeah, we're very close. So I was very annoyed with the results that came out, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna dye my hair black. That was a mistake because when I went to try to bleach my hair, it was looking all crazy. Like there's a lot, and it's definitely chemistry and science that is involved in it. So I get it.
Yes. But yeah, no, I don't give a damn what you do, but yeah, just ask yourself what blondes and some of those hair experts, those color experts, they have like the blonde, like they actually like test out dummy hair colors and they'll put it like on your scalp. And technology now is so advanced. They'll take a picture of you with your hair and they'll do like a mock-up. So like yeah, like you can go to the salon, depending on where you are, take a picture of you just like this, and then they'll put the hair on you with the color that she is going to do. But you have to make sure like she is the color expert.
And you can even try different styles with those too. I completely forgot about those. Like that's what I'm saying, man. Like technology and internet is so bittersweet. It's like it can give you so much.
But you gotta take a break. You gotta take like intervals. I'm doing intervals right now. I'm off.
Yeah.
But next year I'm gonna be on. But yeah, no, it's definitely a gift and a curse.
Yeah, I agree definitely.
But yeah. I would definitely if I had hair, I would take advantage of that little feature. Take a picture and just do like a mock-up of your hair, child, or a wig. Because wigs.
And they don't let you try. Well, I don't know if you ever wore wigs, but they don't let you try wigs on anymore in the beauty supplies and at the store.
I'm not surprised.
Like COVID and all that type of stuff. So it's like that makes it a little bit more difficult because I remember I used to go in with my mom if she wanted to try on something, or like even when I was away at college, going with my friends, just try on different ones to see what we thought were cute. We can't do that anymore. And now it's like you got to buy it. That's real trial and error. You got to buy it,
You
try
gotta
it.
waste your money and try it.
Exactly. If it doesn't look good, that's an L that you have to take. Like, so.
Have you ever considered like taking your wig to a wigologist and like have it like colored or cut? Because I know girls do that.
I don't buy expensive enough wigs for that.
Oh, child, I don't know.
Apart from that, that some people don't even know how to handle wigs when it comes to coloring wigs and changing colors. You take your hair there in good condition and it comes out worse than it was before. So I advise people never do that.
That's a very good point. It comes on court shows all the time where one of like the the plaintiff is like, I brought my wig to the defendant for to fix it up for my birthday. She was supposed to set it on for me as well. And then she's like, the color is completely different. She shows you the before and after and the what I was supposed to get. And it's like 3 completely different things, and it'll be so messed up. I was just watching a video like that on like you can see them on like Facebook and stuff like that. They'll populate. Some
of them don't know how to, and then the worst part is they damage your wigs, no matter how expensive they are. Some people don't know how to handle. Sometimes you tell them, okay, this is a color. When you might even take your own dye. You might even take your own dye, and then the color you're expecting is not what you get.
Yeah.
So I usually don't advise that people take hair that they've already bought to, a wig person and have them change colors. If you want to buy colors, you might as well buy it straight from the source and just leave it that way, instead of having to take it there and then somebody's coming. I mean, I remember a friend of mine took her wig to a place to get it done. I'm not joking. By the time the wig came out, it was shredded.
Yep.
Like, it was completely gone. It was destroyed. She was so livid because that hair was full when it got in there. By the time it was coming out, it was looking like something that they had plucked to some. I'm just like, come on. So when it comes to hair,
do it yourself with watercolor.
Crazy.
Watercolor, like you'll get the semi-permanent dye that's only supposed to be in your hair for like 3 or 4 days, literally like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah. Some people even get the ones that you kind of spray color on your hair, and then when you're done, just wash it out.
If you want to custom color, go the safe route and do, like you said, the spray, or throw them semi-permanent dyes in a big tub of water. Lay that wig in there, let it sit for a little bit, and that's it. Because
the time I have hair, I'm gonna be old with gray hair because I'm gonna be tired of cutting my hair. No one is coloring anything. I am not into the hair at all.
It's really hard to find, and that's another thing and that's why I resort, like when I do feel like I want long hair or like a different style, and my hair isn't long enough to put extensions in right now, so I'll pop on a wig, because it's hard to find tried and true hairstylist, whether it's a wigologist, somebody who's going to take care of your wig and get you right, or somebody who's going to put extensions in for you, or somebody who's going to like cut your hair. I remember I got such a bad haircut one time. I literally wanted to I was so mad at the beautician, and I'm like, you did not do what I said. I'm like holding up my phone. I'm like, this is what it's supposed to look like. It was the first time
what I got. God damn.
Oh my God. And let's be honest, 9 times out of 10, we're going into these salons, it's for our birthday or a special occasion. So I'm going in for my birthday. I'm like, I'm trying to be cute with Bob. Like, I'm about to be lit. I come out and I'm like, it's like cut to my ears. I'm like, this is not at all. And I'm telling them as they're doing it, I'm like, you're cutting it too short. No, I know what I'm doing. Relax. That was the first time I have walked out of a salon where I voiced how upset and disappointed I was by the cut, and I did not pay for the style because it was just so messed up. And luckily, my mom, who I should have just had do it anyway. I've been talking about my mom this whole time because she literally, hair and makeup is like her thing. I should have just had her do it to begin with. You will learn that your mom is always right. Like I just, and to this day, I'll do something and then find out like 2 days later, I should have just listened to my mom anyway.
Yikes.
So yeah, I was livid. It's hard. It's hard out here.
I mean, here, the best part about here is if somebody's getting your hair done, you can actually tell them, Benny, what do you think you're doing? Please. I mean, I've had situations where somebody started braiding my hair. She did like the first two, like cornrows. I was trying to get cornrows, but I was putting, extensions in them and everything. And then she started, this one was all right. Second, then she started going third and fourth. I didn't even notice the third one. It was when she was doing the fourth. I'm like, yo, oh yeah, losing this one and losing the one before it and do it again.
See?
But sometimes you need to put your foot down for these people because if you're not careful, they end up doing what they have in their mind for you, not what you want.
Exactly.
If you leave them, they will do what they want for you, what they feel nice. And if you don't change it for them, like, excuse me, I've had a situation where somebody did nonsense on my head. They're on the spot. I didn't say anything. I made them finish it. They loosened it and started again. And I didn't pay. So it is this thing is crazy.
A
It's very
tedious
crazy.
process.
If you leave hairstylists, they will do what they want and not what you want.
Yep.
I'm glad I cut my own hair. Yikes. I'm glad I cut my own hair. Shout out to D who taught me how to cut my hair. Cause Lord have mercy.
And
really, MiKARA.
you can do it on your own, learn on your own.
I do it on my own.
MiKARA, can you cut your hair yourself?
I do it every 3 days. I've been doing it for the past 10 years.
You can.
That's why I said shout out to the barber,
Yeah.
D, who taught me.
Wow.
Yes. Cause I was like, D, I need you to cut my hair again. I'ma just teach you how to cut your hair.
And it can get expensive. I remember when I was getting a cut, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna buy a pair of clippers and do it myself.
Crazy enough, I was living in Miami and he only charged me $7.
Well, that's not bad.
Whoa.
But when you're paying 25 plus
$25.50, and I hear males say $25.50, $100, and I'm like, whoa.
And
you don't have no designs in your hair.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. I've walked out of shops because I'm like, they're trying to charge. If it's more than $30, I couldn't go because I'm like, I'm on a budget. So 25 was already stressed for me. But I've walked out of shops. I'm like, okay, thank you. If the prices was too high, I don't care how desperate I was. If it's too high, I shouldn't go. And they do get up there to that 50 or so.
That's why I said when I get old with gray hair, I'm gonna get tired of cutting my hair and I'm gonna just let it be. But now, no ma'am. Amazing.
I'm saying now, no ma'am.
No.
I mean, okay, but are you gonna experiment at some point?
No.
Like putting color on your hair at some point?
No, ma'am. No. I'm good just like this. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm good just like this. Nails and skincare is my thing. But hair, like, yeah, no. I've tried everything underneath the sun. Nah. Did she go? Her power must have went out.
Yeah.
Did you hear me?
No, I didn't. What did you say? I said, would you ever put color on your hair?
No, ma'am. I've tried.
Why?
I've tried everything underneath the sun. I've had green hair. I had fuchsia hair. I had blonde hair. I had braids numerous of times. I had twists. I had Senegalese twists. I had ponytail. I've had everything underneath the sun. Like that insert was not exaggerated in my book. Like I had everything. No.
Wow. That no is like, no, thank you.
No,
I'm not doing it.
no,
Hard no.
no. I've had short hair and then like the extra long bang. Like I've had it all. No.
Whoa.
I had the blonde streak.
That's
Yeah,
coming.
I know. When Rihanna had it, that's when I got mine.
Yeah, it's
I was
coming.
living in Baltimore.
Wow.
So yes, like I said, I've tried a lot. Yeah, no. Girl, y'all can have that. When I find me a new nail tech, then that's when I'll experiment with that. But hair, no, I'm good. I'll
Mine
stay bold.
Nail tech, that is another discussion we need to have.
Oh,
Ladies and nails. Woo!
Jesus
Bruh.
Christ.
The price
I'm
of
walking around with
nails.
gloves outside already because I'm like, I gotta get my nails done.
I'm still sad. I'm
Yo,
like,
the price to get nails done here, this is gonna be like, phew. Like, I'm not doing it. So like, if you have to do your nails now, crazy.
It's the relationship. No, not the relationship. It's the I don't even know what the freak to call it. Like the consistency is not there.
oh, but that's
Yeah.
why she said that my nail tech stopped doing nails because she got me right every single time. Like I literally, like you saw how strict I was about my budget for my hair. I did not have a budget for my nails.
Right.
How much I paid her because every single time I left that shop, other than one time, and then I had to go back and she fixed it for me, did I every single time I left happy. Every single time. I have not had, it's been almost a year. I have not had my nails done because I have not found anybody like her yet. Like it is so hard to find a consistently good nail tech. Like you may get lucky, like, oh, okay, they did good. I'm gonna go back. You go back for that fill. Ooh, it is.
Or they're overbooked.
Yeah.
Or they're overbooked
Yeah.
until a month out,
Yeah.
which is annoying.
You out here nails.
Well, I think it also depends on the relationship you have with this person because
Oh
I
no,
have
they're
a
gonna charge you
particular
an
person
emergency fee, girl.
I've never had that.
Emergency or
that's
squeezing fee.
Ooh.
I'm in New
no.
Jersey,
So
New York
I
area,
think
so
I think here I have a personal person who like does my nails. So whenever I want to do my nails, maybe like today, as today's Sunday, and I want to maybe get a refill or do a new one or something, I'm just going to be like, okay, how far? I want to come on so day. This is my appointment. Unless he says, oh, I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be doing that. But usually I don't have that, and I don't get charged for emergencies or nah, not
girl, yeah.
here. You can even just walk into some places and get your nails done.
There's squeezing fees, sit-in fees, emergency fees. Like this is how frequent it is in the area that I'm in because I'm in the area of where, a lot of celebrities, influencers are in and out of New York. They live, so it's a lot of competition and yeah, it's just crazy. And it's scarce just to find like a good one that's consistent and you can keep going on a schedule. So yeah, it's crazy out here, girl.
It's a consistent.
Cute.
Like,
But as long as I'm not on that hair train, I'm good.
what did you
I
say?
think this inconsistency thing. I think this inconsistency thing is everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Because 1 minute you're enjoying the person's services, the person is doing something. It's like they now get comfortable, they forget that they're actually doing a job. And so it's crazy.
Once they like, oh, I done did her 50 times. She made me happy. It's okay. I can slack off a little bit today. Then that slack off happens again the next couple weeks that you go in, and then the couple weeks after. That happens a lot. It happens a lot.
And then when you now go to get your nails done somewhere else or your hair done somewhere else, they get upset.
Oh,
and you be
yes.
like, come, the last time you did this thing for me, didn't you see the nonsense that you did? Like, sorry now, madam, no vex. Say work as it be. I don't tire. This one I go do and well. They will now, because of all the begging, they'll now do it. You go back the next day, they do absolute rubbish. Or the worst part is when you refer them to someone and then they go there and mess up.
Oh my gosh, yes. Be like, I promise you, I get my nails done by her every single time. They go, and it is nothing like the job that they do for you,
Right.
you got to hear it. Because you got it from your friend. Your friend is going to be in your ear telling you, I done paid this money, woo, woo, woo. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Oh, the struggles of finding a beauty tribe. Woo!
Hard.
Yes.
Hard.
Nails, hair is not for me, but for you guys. Are you guys big on like skincare?
I need to be. They say the older you
I'm
get,
learning.
if you do it while you're younger, you ain't got to worry about it too much when you get older. I need to be more consistent with my skincare because
I need that too. I'm learning. Like, I think I'm trying to make like a conscious effort to do that because but one of my ways that I try to still keep my skin healthy is drinking a lot of water, even if I don't get anything done or whatever. Like, so all the extra exfoliating I'm even contemplating going to the spa and getting myself treated because I've never done it before. So if I go, it's going to be my
hop
first
on
time.
board.
So if I go, it's going to be my first time. So I'm, like just trying to, because there's nothing as good as a good glowing and healthy skin. But at the same time, people focus on outside and forget to take care of inside. So you got to do both ways. Take care of the outer part of the skin, drink a lot of water to make the skin glow even more. So, and that helps with the hair too. A lot of people don't know that. That also, drinking a lot of water helps with your hair because people just feel like I have to go get my hair treated. When I do like the whole steaming, a brush, or I don't use so much flat tongue. I'm like, look, have you thought of drinking water? Have you thought of exercising? Sometimes we're the ones is inside that blocks the hair growth, and your edges are looking like they're about to trip off and everything. So,
or massage your scalp too.
That is something that I learned about as well.
Yeah, get the blood flowing.
And I use that. But to your point about water, when people ask you what your secret is, they're like, oh, I'm trying to get like you. Water is major key.
Like, your body is made up of freaking 70% water. Like, you need to drink water.
Yeah.
Yep. A lot.
It was a lot. 70%.
Yeah, it's over 50%.
Yeah,
yes.
It's over. No, your body's made up of 70% water.
Yeah.
You're right, MiKARA.
Because I knew we were made up of a lot of water, but sheesh.
70%. Yeah. So yeah, I'm like, some people who be like, I don't really drink water. I'm just like, girl, how are your I don't say it out loud, but I'm just thinking to myself, like, how are your insides?
How are your insides? I know, right? Like, and my question, how are you even surviving not drinking water?
Right.
I mean, even if you drink all the sugar and all the carbonated drinks,
you gotta wash that away.
Everything, like it beats everything.
To make my water like good for me because I am a like vitamin water Gatorade fiend. So like even right now, like sparkling water, flat water, flavored water, I don't care. I'll find a way to get my water, my daily value of ounces of water inside for me. So
right. Or even putting like lemons and limes and fruit in it or whatever.
And cucumber and whatever that helps you, drink water.
Oh, coconut water good too.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? Some people who can't, put all the lime and the stuff, some people, for you to get them to drink water, you have to make it really cold or else they won't drink it.
I'm a cold drinker too. I love when my water is cold. Even though they say it's better to drink room temperature, like I love me.
I do room temperature more than I drink cold water.
Yeah.
It depends for me. I'm moody.
When I first wake up, I try to get at least 8 ounces in. That's the first thing I do. 8 ounces with some. That's good. First thing that comes into my body, and that has to be room temperature water. But after that, like if I just get done working out, I'm cold water all day. I know it's not the best for me, but I need like straight out the fridge. I need my water to be cold.
Yes. Oh, I forgot. We got a little eavesdropper. Woo-hoo. let me share list. All right, for the question of the day.
So, hey girl.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm wonderful. So my question is, does your hair define you as a black woman?
Okay, that is a very good question. And I'm going to say yes and no with that, right? Because I feel that my hair, I love it, but if I had to get rid of it and if I lost it or if I chose to cut it off, that I still would be a beautiful black woman regardless. So it defines me that I decide to do different styles with it, and I can change it up any way that I want. I can change the color, but the texture of my hair, that's what I'm more in love with. That's what I like. I love to feel my hair. I like the wind to blow through my hair, and I just feel free when my hair is just out.
Okay.
So yeah, but if I didn't have my hair, and like your hair is beautiful, like I love your style, I still would be a beautiful black woman. But yes, I do feel that having my hair natural and the texture of my hair, I do enjoy it. I love it. And when I see other black women with it, I always look at them and say, oh, I love your hair. It looks so beautiful because of, the different coils, the different, the curls, and if they just have the afros and everything. Yeah, so it does define me, and then it doesn't. It's just like when I'm dressing, my dress, I just like to just be free and express.
Ooh. Okay.
I liked her point because I was like, we do have like so many varieties of hair. I'm so detached from hair. I didn't think when she said that, I didn't think about the coils the different coils that we have. It's just a beautiful to be black, and I'm just like, man, I'm so detached. But I think that's the beauty of us black people, that we can straighten our hair, we can have an afro, we can have braids. We are so multifaceted when it comes to hair. Like, what other race can do that?
There's actually that. But I think another thing that helps us as black people too is, the eavesdropper, she mentioned something and I picked on it, is the texture of our hair. So MiKARA, if you were still growing your hair, or if you guys were still had hair, there was always something. One person's hair will be way softer than, out of three of us together, So like personally, my own natural hair, without relaxing it or whatever, it's very stubborn. It's very hard. Like, it's hard for me to comb through. So you're going to have to do you're probably going to finish like one whole bottle of leave-in conditioner just to get in there, because my hair is thick. And then naturally it's this, before I permed it, my hair was very thick. Like, my hair was breaking combs. That's how hard my hair was. So I think my mom now found a way to help me, blow it out, like not permanent fully, but, easy for a comb to go through. I dreaded, making my hair because of so much pain. I usually had a headache when I was done. So my mom found a way to soften it, texturize it, so that whenever my hair is being done, I don't feel as much pain, because that's another thing. Some people try hairstyles, especially black women, but don't consider the texture of their hair. There's some people that the texture of their hair, flat irons are no good for their hair texture at all. Some people, all they need to do is wash it, condition it, style it, and they're good to go. Some people need extra layer of pull. Some people need, you have to hold on to the hair with the hair pack or something. So I think it's also discovering what your hair type is that will also help a lot of, black women define what they want to do. Like, take, for example, somebody who wants to do braids and has like real natural hair can get it done if the person who is doing the hair does a good job by holding the hair together, because that takes a lot of work. But like when your hair is, permed and all that. So yeah.
Oh, child, I'm so glad. It's just so much that we have to just consider as a black woman. That's why I was just like, let me have this discussion, because it's just so much you gotta consider, depending on your hair texture, on what style you're going to get, if it fits you, what job you're doing, you got to take consideration of that. Like, it's just so many little compartments that you got to consider, because that can make or break your future, your opportunities.
Sadly,
depending on what you're trying to go for.
True that. Very true.
So does each of your female friends, you guys all have like different hairstyles? You guys look similar? What is the variation?
We all have different hairstyles. Oh yeah.
I think just me, I'll say me and my bestie have, well, she has like long curly hair, and then anybody else who's like a friend of mine or like a sore of mine all have locks. Everyone has
Oh,
like,
okay.
Oh, nice.
so my bestie,
Nice.
she's mixed race, she's biracial, so she, you know, her hair is her hair. And then me, I have the brush cut when I feel like wearing it, or like I do whatever, the wig when I feel like it. But everybody else has locks. So.
Okay. All my
But to be
friends
fair,
are definitely
locks and hair and low cuts looking like the hair everybody's leaning to these days, because everybody's like, you know what, all I have to do is just and I'm out. Like, I don't have to brush it. I don't have to sit in front of a mirror and start coiling my hair like, oh my God, does it look nice? Is it going to sit? You know, because here is, and I think here for us is also our weather. So our weather is also another thing. Like now, a lot of us are doing braids because it's hot. Plus, so that I don't know if you guys have ever had this kind of season. We have something called Hammertown season where the weather is usually very dry. It's dry, but the is 1 minute it can be extremely cold, and the next minute is extremely hot. So sometimes even what you wear, like before you leave the house, you be freezing, like, oh, I'm going to wear a turtleneck, I'm going to wear a jacket, blah blah blah, and then 10 a.m. the sun is blazing and you're sweating. So the weather is here, especially the weather is another thing that kind of affects us. Like most of us can't leave our hair out because of the weather. It makes our hair brittle. So you have people's hair damaging or chopping off or falling off, like you comb it and your hair is breaking out. So here our weather makes us do a lot of conditioning, washing, oiling, you know, a lot of treatment. So unless you have, like MiKARA, you have like a low cut, then you're safe. But if you like me now, it's been 1 week I did this hair. Now by next week I have to get it cleaned, get it washed, oil it, make sure I don't have dandruff because of the weather and everything. So there's a lot of factors, especially here for us. Our weather also is another thing that affects our hair, as you know, as women here in Nigeria, because you have some people's hair that just one tiny breeze and their hair is very stiff. You can barely comb it unless you pour like conditioner or something that can help them relieve that detangling and all that. So yeah, that's one of the things that affects us too here.
That's a good point. I feel like women out here, they don't care about the weather when it comes to hair. Like they'll be like some women won't even throw on a hat if it could be dead of winter, if it's gonna mess up their hairstyle.
I do not like the hat. I do not like hats.
Yeah.
I will get a cold before I put a hat on.
Yeah, so it's women do not care about weather out here. I have no problem. I love me a hat. I'll get me a beanie real quick. I feel like you can make them look real cute, but some people don't like them at all. Like,
yeah, no, girl.
I have a friend from college who you won't catch her dead wearing any kind of a hat. Like it can't, like, if you see her in a scarf, it's because she's about to go to bed. Like, you won't see anything on top of her head ever. So, yeah.
I mean, here, I think our weather makes us have, like, face caps, beanie caps, depending on whatever thing. Some people just use it for fashion accessories. Some, it's a necessity. So, like, someone like me, sometimes if it's blazing hot, I'm like, okay, I don't want to wear shades. I just put on a face cap and I'm heading to where I'm going. So, different folks, different strokes.
Yeah, exactly.
Ciao, y'all can keep the hat, okay? Y'all can keep the hat. I'm running out. Yeah, I do not like hats. They make my head itch.
Do you mostly work from home now?
I have an office like down the street, literally.
So even if like
Aren't you lucky?
you don't have to wear because you can make it real quick and like come back
Yeah, or I'll just run in the car.
somewhere real quick.
Yeah, I'll just run in the car. I'm catching an Uber.
But honestly, like down there, I feel like Jersey, Philly area, even like New York City is a lot warmer.
Wow.
A lot warmer in the winter than it is up here where I'm at. Like
I don't know about New York City. Them tall buildings, that wind is
that's
like,
what I'm saying. My brother said, and said like some like when it's like certain storms, like he's like, man, it feels like back home. That's how I know it's really cold down there. But like when I was in Philly, I felt like I loved the winter down there because it was not nearly when you experience winter in upstate New York.
I don't want to. Chicago was enough. Chicago was a punch in your face, okay? I said, take me back home.
Chicago
What is this?
Thing.
If you guys are complaining about what the weather is like, then I don't know I know MiKARA has been to Nigeria, but I'm not sure if he has. If you come to Nigeria, you have?
Not yet, no.
Okay. So if you come to Nigeria, the weather is completely different from what you experience over there.
Oh, I would
totally different. So
it might be just my speed.
you know how when you want to travel to a particular country, you say, okay, pack for summer, pack for winter, pack for this, pack for that.
Yeah.
Here, just bring your t-shirt, bring your hoodie, bring your jeans, and bring anything else you want to wear.
A jean jacket, baby.
Exactly. Because our weather here is very.
That's why I said I'm a fake Jamaican African island girl because it is warm over there. Their cool is like 50, 57, 60. Over here, it's like -3. And I'd be like, whoa, it's time to go back home. What is this?
Real well. Me and over there. We would get along real well. Because we get down to negative double digits.
No, man.
Snow. Like covering the door. I remember we had such a bad snowstorm once I was in high school. We had to shovel our way out of the house. Like it's
ridiculous in America, but there was a time you guys had issues with blizzard. Like you guys could barely drive out of your driveways and all that kind of stuff. How did you guys cope? Because first of all, your hair, your outfit, and everything. Like, what was that like?
It's horrible. It's horrible.
These wraps.
You gotta warm your car up. You gotta worry about black ice, shoveling the snow on your stairs. Wipe the. It's just a lot. It's a process. Make sure you have an hour to an hour and a half to warm your car up because you have to literally hurry up and get all that stuff out before it freezes. Because once it freezes on your windshield wipers, then you gotta like kind of hurry up and get the ice off and try not to break your windshield wipers. Like it's just a lot you gotta worry about. And then the people have to make sure they put the salt on the streets so your tires don't, make other cars too. Yeah, it's a lot. You gotta drive slow. Don't drive fast.
And that's like the city-ish area, right? Like where you're at. So where I am is not the city. So we're farther up, and we just got snow blowers because and we can't do shoveling anymore. It's just too much snow. And there's a moment when you start to shovel and you just have to do that back stretch. When you do that back stretch, like you about to be done shoveling. So the snow blowers, we had to get snow blowers to make sure the driveways are clear. You have to wait. Jobs will literally, like offices will call you and be like, okay, you don't have to come into work today or come in 2 hours later because you have to wait for the snow plows to come through and clear the streets and drop the salt like MiKARA was talking about. For the most part, I work from home now. So this winter, I know I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be in the house, warm up my coffee. I'll be fine. But when I didn't, I would have to go out there. I kept a shovel in my trunk because you just never know. Like,
I'm calling somebody. Hey, James.
MiKARA, I'm calling somebody. It's the girl I call somebody. You are calling somebody. My God,
Yes.
I can't.
She got somebody to call for everything, not me. Okay.
I know.
Fatty bougie
Me, I'm like,
badass. Okay.
bougie girl. Very
Yes.
I kept a shovel, kept the bag of salt.
Yes.
You gotta have emergencies. I kept blankets because you never know. Okay, so the water, you don't know what could happen.
Oh, water. Yeah, you upstate, girl. It ain't that bad down here.
You gotta keep in the car because
So it's at this point. It's at this point that I would say that I am blessed to be in Africa. I'm blessed to be in Nigeria because we don't have to deal with all that. Like, who has energy? Who has energy to be carrying? I think the only thing we worry about in this country, make sure there's a jack in your car or a wrench, a spare tire, as like the basics that you're supposed to have. But nobody's carry like a shovel and a pickaxe or something just because of some ice.
Right.
I think that's
never know. You need at least one really warm blanket and at least one case of water because you never know what's going to happen. And you could
and that case of water will not freeze in your car with the blizzard and thing.
Yeah, no, they will. But hopefully your car is running and the heat in the car can help melt the water.
Okay.
So
You better hope you got enough gas in your car too.
Oh, are you kidding? Gas stays in the car. And
like that is another thing. Like
below 3/4 of the tank.
One thing is leading to another. You have to have a shovel, have a pack of water, have blankets, and you have to make sure your heater is working. But even while your heater is working, make sure you have enough gas to sustain it. Bro, that's a lot. That's a pyramid right there.
Yes. 16 was the day that you're allowed to drive in this country, right? The day I turned 16, I went to go do my driver's test. That day, my dad sat me down. He's like, this is what you're going to need, and this is what we're going to do. And I went, it was February for me. So it was like still winter time out here. So he was like, in the winter, your gas should never be below 3/4 of a tank of gas because you never know if you're going to stop and what's going to happen. So that's almost full. Like my car never stayed without gas. And even in like the summer, like fall time, I never go below half the tank. Like even if I don't have it and I'm like, man, it's a rough week this week, I'm still going to find the money to put that gas in this car because you never know. You just never know. So
that's true though.
But as far as my hair in the winter, how do I cope? I keep a hat on or I keep my hair wrapped in a scarf. Oil is my best friend. Some castor oil or like tea tree oil is best for my scalp. I need me some tea tree oil. That's pretty much it.
MiKARA, but how do you cope? I mean, with the low cuts and everything, you're going to be wearing head warmers because you don't wear hats. You don't wear anything. So how do you cope? Yeah. So how do you cope with the cold?
I just run to the car and just bear with it.
You would do like earmuffs?
No, girl.
Ooh.
I don't own any earmuffs. I don't even think I own any. I have like a scarf. If it's like flurries, I'll probably throw a scarf on if I'm like drunk coming from like an event. Because when you're drunk, like it's my body temperature, the cold just hit different. I'm like, woo! I put my scarf on, but normally, no, I'm just hard headed. I'm sorry.
I'm drunk.
Yeah,
I'm hot. Like I'm the heat. If I'm drunk, I'm the heat.
When you have no hair, it's a different layer of like cold.
I did not. That was the one time I didn't have a hat on. Is if I'm drunk.
Yeah, no, I'm cold. My head is cold, but the rest of my body is like fine. But my head is like cold. I don't know. My head is just crazy.
Because I feel like you be having like a brain freeze, literally.
Yeah.
I have head cold sometimes.
Wow. Man, you trying. That's a lot of sense.
But no earmuffs. I don't even own any. I have a couple of scarves I put around my neck, and if I feel like I'm freezing, I'll like tuck it over my head.
Okay.
I think I got like one Scully that's like buried in my closet, but Charlie.
It's funny how I'm listening to you both say, "Oh, I don't have earmuffs. I have earmuffs. I don't wear scarves. I don't wear hats." I feel weird because I'm just like throw on a t-shirt, a sweatpants, and just head out my door and go as well as gonna come back, and I'll be all right. I don't have to think of, oh, I'm going to wear socks, wear boots. I just wear slippers. I think
four seasons.
Okay, but the only thing we worry about during the Hammertime season is try not to look ashy.
Oh yeah,
because
that's all year round.
The weather has a way of making, like, especially your joints, your knees, your ankles looking all white and cracked. So as much as possible, I try to have at least a lip balm and some oil, maybe coconut oil or something to help with the edges and all that, or shea butter, because shea butter actually even does a lot better. It keeps your skin oily and, you know, fresh. It's not looking all peely. And because Hamatan in Nigeria, cream or like rub some oil. I said that sometimes you even have to like bring out your hand and then pour the oil for the person, so that like your aunt just come on, don't be doing that. So I think that's the only thing we worry about here, because I mean, listening to you guys say, oh, I don't have earmuffs, I have earmuffs, I don't wear scarves, I don't cover my hair.
It's crazy. Yeah, so we're on the East Coast. We're on the East Coast, so we have 4 seasons. If you talk to somebody on the West Coast, they'll have only 2 seasons. Yeah. So they won't have to deal with the earmuffs as much. So their coldness is different versus on the East Coast. That's why I said for when we talked about earlier, like somebody in the middle class on the East Coast may have a different hairstyle on the East Coast, on the West Coast or down south. Like, it's just all over the place. We go by regions.
Do they even? I mean, they have like kind of a cold season, but they're pretty much.
They don't. It's just 2 seasons.
Yeah, I have
maybe Portland and Seattle may have like 3 seasons, but like California and Las Vegas and Mexico, New Mexico, 2.
Yeah, I think here too. Some parts of Nigeria, some states in Nigeria have extreme weather. Like Lagos is still okay. If you go outside Lagos, the weather outside Lagos is way extreme. So it is either extremely hot or it is extremely cold. I mean, Lagos can still be in between. It could be humid. Like, it might not rain, but it will look like it's about to rain, but it won't rain. So it will just be like very cold, windy, chilled weather, you know, no sun, nothing. But outside, like in the north, when it's cold, it's cold. When it's hot, it is hot. And when I say hot, I'm talking blazing hot. So we're talking over 40 degrees hot when it's hot. And then when it's cold, it is cold. So, and there are some places in Nigeria too that when it rains, it's not regular rain, it's hailstorm, like the hailstones.
Oh, like Texas.
They just keep dropping and stuff like that. So, I mean, also just the same way you have like different states with different weather, we have that here too, where some places you're like, oh, nice. And then like some places like, nope, nothing is gonna take me there. I'm not going. So the only difference is what we will just worry about is, okay, carry an umbrella, get a raincoat, or
y'all don't have no snow as y'all natural
So what?
y'all don't have to worry about snow as y'all natural weathers.
There was this guy that I met from Nigeria. I don't know exactly where in Nigeria he was from, but he said he moved to the US. I think he was like 7. And he said it still takes him a long time to get used to the winter. Like, I was in Philly and I remember it's like barely winter. There's no snow on the ground. For me, it's nothing. But to him, it was like, I don't know, it was like Antarctica. Oh, it was like Antarctica for him. So but
it's true, because the cold here, even we that were here, especially in Lagos, will say it's cold. Somebody from outside Lagos that comes in, that's within Nigeria, somebody who comes from outside Lagos will say, if we're complaining it's cold, first come to our side and see what cold is. So the weather is your friend that moved to the US and, you know, he hasn't seen snow or anything, I can't blame him, because the cold there and here are like 2 different things. Like, Okay, it's just like we're here, we turn on the ACs and everything. Even at that, if somebody who lives, I remember one of my friends, when she traveled and came back, she put on AC, she was doing like this, that is hot. I said, wait, inside this same Nigeria that we used to say that is AC, for me, oh my God, it's hot. I said, if I slap you, it's like, babe, you will not understand. The cold is not the same. I'm like, okay. If that's the case, then fine. Because even when my cousin used to stay in Ireland before she moved to England and everything. And then when she comes, she's always supposed to say, like, sis, girl, this cold, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bruh, you're in Nigeria. Deal with it. I didn't create the weather. Whatever you see is what you get. So it's but funny thing is, we always look forward to Harmattan season. And Harmattan season usually happens between December, January, February. So between December and January, you're enjoying the cool part of the weather because it's always cold. So, you don't have to have so much makeup on because a lot of people be like, oh my God, my skin is going to pop, blah, 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 yeah. But by February, it now starts to get very hot. But the only thing that annoys us with the Harmattan season here is the dust that it brings. So if you're asthmatic, Harmattan weather is really not good for you because you could be in your house, you've wiped your house down completely, go and come back in 5 minutes, the table surfaces or whatever is occupied with dust. Your cars that you washed and you're about to go out, you come back and see your car like it hasn't even been washed at all. So that's the thing that just triggers a lot of people for Harmattan. And that's Harmattan in Lagos. Harmattan outside Lagos. I schooled outside Lagos, so I know what it is like when Harmattan comes. Girl, 5:30, 6 a.m., 6:30, all you're seeing is fog and flickers of lights in between. Like you can't see anything. Your vision is blurry. Like even your friend who you guys are in the same hostel, you can't see her door to her room. So you have to like step out, or they have to be like security lights on and everything. So that's what we're saying, that when it comes to hair here, our weather is also another determining factor for we Nigerian ladies. So imagine that kind of weather where it's very foggy. Sometimes at 7 a.m. the fog is still there. And 7 a.m. that's when even like 6:30, 7 a.m. in some parts of Nigeria, that's when it's getting bright. Some places by 5 a.m. it's already dawn. Like you can see the day clearly. So it's a lot. It's a whole lot.
You do make a really good point, because now that I think about it, I think in general, I did say that women, we don't care about weather here, but we do, because like if it's like dead of winter, we're looking for protective styles, or it's like summer, we're looking for protective styles because it's gonna be so hot, our hair is like sweating. So like we have some, but like you guys have, it sounds like extreme weather.
Well, I won't call it extreme, but for the people who are self-conscious and they don't want to look some type of way, still want to look presentable regardless of the weather. There are some people who don't care, who don't outrightly don't care. But there are some people who be like, no. And there's some people like someone like me now, when the season comes, I can't have my hair out because it's going to be hard for me to start combing and then not with work, because I can't be thinking of how to keep my hair and then how to find my way to work and everything. And then I feel like, oh, every week or every other week I have to go to the salon. No. So I'm just going to have to do something that will keep my hair in place. So the only thing I know I'll do for myself is oil it, make sure that I am well hydrated so that I can help with my growth of my scalp and everything. Because if you don't oil your hair in 2 weeks in this country, especially depending on the state that you're in, you could just touch the scalp of your hair and you feel how dry it is, to the point that when you itch it, you might injure yourself, or you might get like dry flakes on your scalp. Yeah. And that is not something you want.
Wow.
Yep.
Ooh, the extreme we gotta go through, no matter where you are.
I know.
Child, I still rub coconut oil on my bald head or shea butter. Okay?
Yeah, you ain't gonna be shiny.
Good. It's moisturized.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
It is moisturized. I do not want to look ashy as a dark-skinned bald woman.
No.
You ain't, if I catch you looking ashy, I'm a gut. Let me talk like another. If I catch you looking ashy, I will insult your destiny. Let me just be
Yes.
Nigerian, right? Oh my God, the look on Phoebe says like, yeah, that's how we talk in Nigeria. Like, if I catch you outside, I will insult your destiny. Like, don't try it. Don't try me.
Girl, yes. Yes.
But I mean, it would be nice to have people come to Nigeria sometime. Whenever you want to come, just let me know.
Listen, it's on my list. It is on my list to go.
That flight is long.
Okay, MiKARA, stop being discouraging. You've done it before. Yeah, we get it. Stop discouraging MiKARA. She can make it.
All right, but it's fun.
It's
fun.
Take a trip from here to like Shanghai or Japan or whatever.
It's a longer.
Exactly. Exactly.
If it's gonna get me somewhere nice and beautiful and I'm gonna enjoy myself, I will be just fine. I will sleep. I'll download movies on my phone. I'll watch them. I will be just fine. That's me.
So, see?
Come on, Naja.
It's Niger, not Niger. It's Niger State.
Niger.
No, Niger.
Okay, I'm an American. You go ahead and excuse my twang.
Yeah, what now?
The twang, the
yeah, but when you come to Lagos, you be saying Abego, Abi. Let me.
I'm gonna be around more Nigerians, so it's gonna come back to me. Cause the way y'all suck y'all teeth, I lost it. I don't even want to try right now.
But you guys do it though.
Yeah,
I don't understand. Don't do it
out here.
Huh?
I think
what do you say?
When you to suck your teeth out here, I think it's any Caribbeans that you're around. Oh, you're gonna hear that. I'm surprised in like the Jersey area, you don't hear that.
No,
ever.
I gotta be around like some some fresh off the boat.
Wow.
So funny thing is, Nigeria, we wouldn't do it and roll out either.
Yeah,
there you go.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, like, when somebody does that to you here, just know that you have committed. Like your offense is heavy. like it's like I beg, just carry yourself and be going. Once that happens, forget. There's nothing else you want to do. So
that's so funny.
I know, right?
I don't hear it. I done lost it. I have to call my Nigerian friends on a WhatsApp app. That's how I know her time so well.
Because
yeah, that's true. That's very true.
But yeah, I don't. Girl, bye. No.
But you guys, I know that some Black Americans, like even if you don't do like there's a sound or something like that, like or something like that.
The other sounds. We suck teeth in my house, but that's because I'm like, that's why I think I always thought when I like went away to college, that was the first thing a Black American said to me was like, "Oh, you must be Caribbean," and I'm like, "Yeah," but like it didn't occur to me that wasn't like a normal thing. So that's why that's so funny. That one thing is so distinctive.
Mm-hmm.
See, we all bring different stuff, and it just gets melted together. Like,
yeah,
I know.
You don't know where it came from. You just, I heard it from somebody else. I want to use it.
Exactly.
Yeah, but if you're going to be doing that here, you have to be careful where and who you do that to, because like me, I can't and should never ever do it to an adult.
Yes.
Exactly. Don't try it.
Yep.
Girl, if you don't get a slap on the face, you're going to be told your life history.
Yep.
Depending on who the individual is. Like, I trust mothers from my tribe. You will not finish it. The slap will help you end it.
Yeah. It'll come before.
I'm telling you, don't try it.
Even if I don't story and I'm annoyed about something and I'm like, wait, no, you better stop and you better just tell the story. Just finish.
Don't tell the story and don't hiss. Don't do it. Like if you're in front of an adult, especially mothers or aunties or whatever, don't try yourself. Don't even, like, you could do with your friends, you could do whatever, but it's just like I'm mad about something and I'm trying to talk to my mom and I'm like, oh, mom, the eye she will give me first and foremost, my brain will reset because it's like you're forgetting who you're talking to.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when you kiss your teeth. You have to be very careful who you do it and where you do it, and it's not even just to mothers or aunties or some places you will go to, especially in Lagos. If you're gonna go to the part where you have the gangsters, you guys call it ghetto, we call it trenches, we call it whatever. You have to be careful so that they don't come for you. Because whether you want to,
because I didn't know that one.
What?
Why can't you do it in those areas?
Oh no, so the reason why is because you want to be careful, especially if you have a face that can easily be marked. If the person you did it to doesn't do anything to you, believe me when I tell you that they have people in other areas.
Oh.
So you might wanna be careful not to fall on them, because sometimes. And then so there was this mentality that they gave us when we were growing up, that especially in my tribe, if you don't greet an elder or if you hiss or something, so there's this thing we call, I think MiKARA must have heard about it, we call juju or jazz. Somebody will do juju or jazz for you. So jazz is like voodoo, black medicine. Yeah, exactly. So because of that kind of story, you'll be so scared that you'll probably greet even if you don't know the elder safe, you will greet everybody that is older than you that passes by you, just because you don't know who is who, what the person is holding, or what kind of power the person has. So some things that we learned growing up, it took a lot for some of us, especially us millennials, to be able to break out of it. The Gen Zs don't really have an idea, but for us millennials, there are some things that when we, like, I sat down with a couple of my friends and we're talking about it, and we're like, wait, how did we swallow most of these things hook, line, and sinker? But we also got to realize that it was just training, because your parents, like your parents tell you, oh, if you do this at night, the boogeyman will come for you. Those kind of little stories. It was something like that for us too. Oh, don't go outside though. If you whistle, snake will come out. If you whistle at night, snake will come out. If you do this. So we had a lot of things, believe you me, we had a lot of things growing up. So also thank God for education, technology, and everything. If not, there are some people till today who still believe certain things. It's just like there's one thing that some people believe. I don't know if people have stopped it. There's some things some will tell you, okay, maybe both of you are walking together and I'm coming, you guys can see me in front. I can't pass your middle. I can't pass in between you guys. It's a thing. So we were made to believe that, oh, if you guys are working together and somebody passes in between you guys, maybe the superstition.
Yeah.
Somebody must have done something, or somebody must have taken your virtue. Guy, or the one that if you're sitting on the floor or you're sitting down, somebody crosses. It's just like maybe we're sitting in the parlor and you want to jump over something. So instead of turning around, you just jump over my leg. You will see us here and there, hey, jump back, jump back, jump back, jump back. I beg, I don't want my child to be like, yo, jump back. It's be like, what? So it took a lot for us to be able to break out. So that's why I said, when it comes to all these things about hair, lifestyle, there are a lot of conditions in this country, especially in Africa also. I'm using my country as an example, but even other parts of Africa, they have their own thing. So there's a lot of things that are attached to how you look, how you dress, how you talk, how you relate with people, the things you believe in. And, this person is an elder, you can't do this. This person is this, you can't wear that. You can't wear this color. You can't, like in my country, in front of some royal families, there are certain colors you can't put on. So it's a whole lot. As I said, a new wave of research needs to be done here in Nigeria, because a lot of things have changed. Things are not the way people think they are. So that's it.
Interesting. So what y'all want to cheers to today? What did y'all learn?
There's a lot to cheers to.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I'm gonna cheers to making new friends, MiKARA and Priscilla. Yay. I'm gonna do that. Then I'm gonna cheers to new week. And I'm also gonna say thank you to you, MiKARA, for giving me this opportunity. And it was nice having this conversation because also you've given me something to talk about on radio. So hey. So yeah, and cheers to good friends, good friendship, and good people. That's all I'll say.
So I'm gonna echo everything that you just said, and I'm also gonna cheers to just like new knowledge. I think we definitely shared a lot of information that from a lot that I didn't know that I learned within this conversation. I think a lot of people will learn too. And cheers to our eavesdropper for being so honest about how she felt about her hair. That was cool. So yeah, this was a good conversation. I definitely enjoyed it.
Yes, it was.
Yes. What do I want to cheers to? My mind be so all over the place. I want to cheers to you guys. What'd you say? What'd you say?
I said come back to earth. Center yourself.
I know, but I'll be thinking of like new ideas. But
because I know that as MiKARA is sitting there, she's probably thought of the next project she's gonna do. Her book is there. Then what she's gonna wear to like some dinner. And I remember she said she's gonna go for some.
Actually, I'm thinking about what am I gonna eat?
See, you see.
But I want to thank you guys for being interested in my topics because this is like the kind of stuff that I like to talk about. I just like to talk about beyond the surface type of topics, not just like the social, what's going on in trends, social media and stuff like that. I love to just pick apart people's brains, especially no matter what your background, where you are. I wanted this platform to be specifically, women of all walks of life and just ready to evolve and better themselves and educate themselves. So that is specifically what I wanted to do for this type of girls' night out and keep doing this dialogue. And I always repurposing the topics with different women or bringing back some of the women and just interchanging thoughts, perspectives, and also including more eavesdroppers. That's why I have that number that people could call in. I'm gonna make a WhatsApp app so people internationally can also call and voice their opinions as well. Yeah. But this is the purpose of this project. I had a lot of fun creating it, getting the eavesdroppers. I actually had no problem getting these eavesdroppers. I thought they were all funny, hilarious, especially BB's episode.
Oh, yeah.
She had two. Because she's like, I want to answer another question. And I'm like, okay. But I had a lot of fun creating this. I wasn't sure if it was going to be receptive. Because, we're all in America, we're just getting over the pandemic and people are just trying to get back to their grind and trying to get back to the money, the hustle. And I was just like, I'm not sure if this is going to be receptive very well, but I'm going to still give it a shot. And I really enjoyed this passion project. I want to keep doing this. So thank you guys for joining. So that's what I wanted to just cheers to. Yay! So if you guys enjoyed this episode, let me get this number going. Yeah, you guys can be eavesdropper, call in. You get a voicemail. You're not going to get BB. You're not going to get me. You're not going to get Eve. So you can call 202-480-9557. List the question, please, and then say, your perspective, your thoughts on the episode, or if you had any experience on this specific topic. So I had so much fun.
I did too.
All right, we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye.